How Grandpa got started buying farmland in the Lawler area, how Grandpa Victor.
Well, Henry Hilbert was a neighbor up in Lawler, and he knew Dad had a lot of boys, and they'd farm out, they'd work with a hired man. And he got Dad alone one time, and he said, "No, you got them boys there, somebody hires them, and they want to work them so they make money, and your kid wants to make a little for himself. Why don't you buy the farm yourself, and then you can realize the profits that you make off of the work that he does." And Henry Hilbert come and told him there's 80 acres, the one where Mike is now, for sale. So I don't know if they had an auction or if they just, usually the land agents come around and to the different potential buyers and try to sell them a farm. It ain't like now when you get a farm for sale, you better get in there and bid it up. But now you just put it on.
Back then they kind of came and looked for people to buy the land.
Yeah.
So who owned Butch's farm before Grandpa bought it?
Jim Egan,
Jim Egan. And how much did Grandpa pay for that farm?
$62 an acre.
Okay. And then what was the next farm he bought?
Macoma, the musket place.
Okay. And how much did he pay for that?
I don't remember what
Okay.
it was.
Then how about Norb's farm?
North 160, and he got that for $10,000, the whole thing.
The whole thing for $10,000. And do you remember who owned that farm?
Yeah, a doctor, I forget what his name was.
A doctor?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. And Neil's farm?
Yeah, that was McCabe.
A McCabe.
That was 120.
Dollars an acre?
No,
Oh, 120 acres. And how much did he pay for that
I
one?
don't remember.
You don't remember. Then after he bought Butch's, Norb's, Neil's, then whose did he buy?
then he started on Alex and I and Arnie. And
Okay.
he bought that swamp done by Alex. There was 80 acres in the center with peat ground. And the big tall grass grew up and Dad lit it one fall.
He lit it on fire?
Yeah. And then the peat started burning. It burned all winter. Burned holes in the ground.
Huh.
Then Alex worked that through until he could get some soil back in there.
Huh. And then after that, you said he bought a 40 acres?
Well, then he bought mine.
Oh, yours next?
240 acres for $100 an acre. And he kept the 80 acres for himself. And he sold me 140, and then he split the top 40 and sold me 20, so I had 160. And then he gave that to Arnie, and then Neil got 60 of that 80, and then Arnie got 20 of that 80, and I got nothing.
Shoot. And then after your farm, he bought Artie's farm?
Yeah.
And do you remember who owned each of those farms? Who owned Alex's farm?
It was a Yurok.
A Yurok?
One time was a Yurok. I don't know if Harry Kane bought that afterwards.
Oh, Harry Kane?
Could have, I'm not sure.
Okay, and then who owned your farm?
Uh,
Was it an O'Connor?
the Jehovah's Witnesses,
Oh.
the Nab brothers.
A Nab?
Nab brothers.
Okay, the Nab brothers. And then how about Artie's farm?
Boylan.
A boiler? Boyle or?
Boylan. B-O-Y-L-E-N.
Oh, L-E-N, Boylan. Huh,
But he never lived there, that I remember that.
okay,
It always was rented.
okay. And then tell us about the land when you got it. Was it in good shape or?
You know all about it.
I don't know about it.
The 70 acres never had a plow on it.
Of your farm?
Yeah. And I averaged 60 wagon loads of rock for the first 10 years. Every year, 60 loads average. And if you don't believe me, we'll take you out to the rock piles.
I believe you. Who picked them all? You
You.
and your brothers?
So you got it.
Well, we picked some, but you had to clear it off before I got there.
Well, we farmed what we could and let the rocks go till last.
And
pick rocks until it was time to plant corn, then string the wire and plant the corn around the rocks. Then afterwards go up and down the rows of corn. And 2 kids on each side, took 8 rows on each side and 1 in back picked up. You get across the 40-acre lake, they had a load.
Yeah. Did you have to tile your farm?
Yeah.
That was long before my time, I think. And all those farms, no one had tile back in those days, did they?
I always made the statement, if you had enough money to buy some land, you better have enough to tile it, otherwise you don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
Just a detriment to you.
Because you just didn't get a crop if you didn't
No.
tile. Okay, so now I'm gonna show this picture. This is the picture of my dad and my 4 brothers with the John Deere 50 tractor. This was the first tractor my dad ever bought. And who did you buy it from?
Stone implement.
From Old Valley?
I think it was Neil.
Old Neil, okay. And how much did you pay for it?
1,700, I think, and 2 bottom mounted plow.
So you got the tractor and a mounted plow for
Yeah.
$1,700. And that was a lot of money back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
We milked 12. How many cows did we milk? 16? In 2 weeks' time, a cream check was about $60. How much can you buy with $60 every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Feed the family in the house is about it.
Yeah.
And a few eggs out there.
And some pigs.
Yeah, pigs. Pig was a big money liver. The hog market. That's what we made enough money to keep moving.
The hogs.
Yeah.
That was your biggest money maker at the
Yeah, I
time.
farrowed during the coldest months of the year, usually in January and February, and then I had hog barn was a little bit tight but not insulated. Then I put a NIPCO heater in there and blow it to the north, and I kept that running 24 hours a day. Then every night about 3 o'clock I'd get up and go down the hog barn and see if any others were farrowing pigs, if the NIPCO was running okay, and then everything goes, then I'd go back to bed. That was fun to do too. It was 20 below and get out of our arm bed and
Yeah.
dress up
And was that kerosene heat?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about, do you remember the invention of the telephone?
No, that was before my
That
time.
was before your time.
We didn't have a phone for the first 6 years, but there's a line went by with 1 wire. It was the Protovent and Lawler Central combined to send a message over. And if you called somebody in Lawler, no, in Protovent was no, we can't hold you, you gotta call Lawler. But then you hang up. So you were supposed to call where your phone is up to. And 21 different ones used that phone. And then too often you could use it.
21 people were on the party
Yeah,
line?
yeah.
Oh my.
Ring, 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 ring. That was my ring. If that rang, then I could grab it.
But otherwise, if it wasn't that ring, it wasn't for you.
Right. Ladies, go back to your dishes. This doesn't concern you.
Because people would all get
Yeah.
on the party line and hear what was going on.
That old bachelor. Ladies, go back to your dishes. This doesn't concern you.
And which bachelor was that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it was a bachelor. I think it was a married man. He was just as nosy as anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about what else, like with farming, tell me what the price of corn seed was and where you got your corn seed and stuff like that.
Corn, I bought seed corn and then I raised my own corn.
Yeah, but where did you buy your seed corn?
Oh, Arnie Bodensteiner, I was a dealership for DeKalb. And Mating, what was Jim Mating, were pioneer. And they come around and try to sell you corn.
Okay.
Different numbers.
And then you planted with the wire planter, two row?
2 rows,
2 row.
2 horses.
2 horses. When you started in Lawler?
Yeah.
On your farm, that was before you had
I
tractor?
didn't plant with horses, so I planted with a tractor.
Oh,
two
but
rows.
when you were at home on the
Oh, yeah.
home farm, you planted with horses?
Yeah, if you changed the team at noon, you could get up to about 17 acres total planted that day. If you kept them all day, then wore them out, they'd carry part of the planter on their shoulder. We'll bring a fresh team out, and you get an extra 2-3 acres planted that way.
How many times did you have to work the land before you could plant it? Like, how many times did you have to, disc it or prepare it? How many times?
If you got it fall plowed, you were halfway through. Yeah, the 7'10" disc was behind the 50, that was a load. And then disc it with that, and then you get stuck where there was no tile. And only 1 year I couldn't make it round all the way to the upper fence because it wasn't tiled yet and it was so wet you couldn't. And then John Deere tractors, he had row crop in front, and they had a wheel that was dished in. The wheels run about 6 inches apart. You took the wheel out and put it opposite, and you had the front wheel spaced about them. Then if the tires would pick up mud, it would block the wheels from turning.
What was, like, most people, how many acres did they farm? Like back when you just started farming, what was your average farm
They
size?
farmed 80 acres was a pretty good load.
80 acres was a good sized farm?
Maybe they had 4 horses, half a dozen cows, a few pigs.
Yeah.
The horses, most of them, was hay that they made that was keep the horses alive over the winter time. Half of the hay in the barn was,
For the horses?
yeah.
Okay, next, what was I gonna, tell me about, parish life or your Catholic life, or how, like, I think I remember a story about how you joined Little Turkey versus Lawler Parish. What was that story?
we were married and we talked to Father DeLay in Lawler and wanted to join the Lawler church here. And he says, why don't you go to Little Turkey? They're looking for more parishioners. And then I said, well, what will I do when my kids get school age? There's no Catholic school. If they get that far, you bring them back and I'll make sure they get a Catholic education. So then we went to Turkey. Well, the Ruthie went to country school for a couple of years.
Right.
And Laura did too.